I am ready.
Okay, Zamya, we're gonna start HNN Live, turning your cameras on in 3, 2, 1. We are live.
Yay!
Everybody.
Rory, hi!
Hello.
Lauren, hi!
Get up.
Lauren, hi,
Yes.
hi, Rory,
Yeah.
hi, Annette,
Here.
hi, Karen.
Welcome.
Caroline.
Zamya Theater Project presents Homeless News Network, starring Caroline Mannheimer, Corey Walton, Greg Tromzarek, Marvin Howard, Annette Bryant, Lurch, Robert Blood, Shannon Kemp, Sol Sepulveda, Tahiti Robinson.
Welcome everyone. Welcome, a hearty welcome to our American and our viewers. Welcome to Zamya's Homeless News Network. I'm Corey Walton coming to you live from Zamya's world headquarters in downtown Minneapolis. And boy, do we have a show in store for you today. Now, our theme for today's episode is fantasy and reality. Now, if that don't get your juices flowing, nothing will. Fantasy and reality. Let's marinate for a little bit. We're going to get this show on the road. But before we do, we want to remind our audience to please help us keep HNN on an interactive tip. So we invite you, our audience, to share your thoughts throughout the program in our chat box, because that's what interactive is all about, right? I mean, we can agree on that, right? And speaking of agreeing, let's kick this episode off like we usually do with our Zamya agreements. Now, if you've seen the show before, you're familiar with these Zamya agreements. It's sort of the rules by which we conduct ourselves. But we're Zamya, so we're not about to just read some agreements to you like some sort of recital. No. That's not our style. We have to Zam-tastic it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the world premiere of Zam Masterpiece Theater. 5 short but sweet vignettes for your viewing pleasures. And let me remind you, these are not just ordinary vignettes. No. These vignettes include the Zamya agreements embedded. Now, I would say more, but I don't want to ruin the surprise. So I'll just introduce the first vignette, starring time after time, terrific Tahiti and groovy Greg T. Take it away, troop mates.
And speaking of your soul, why I was just enraptured with your performance 2 weeks ago when your performance of what the world needs now. It just was incredible. You know, thank you so much. The way your movements and your interpretation of your ASL was just words cannot express.
Oh, that's so sweet of you for the compliment.
Well, you know, it's just I'm just trying to cultivate an attitude of gratitude.
And I just want to have fun.
Is that all you want to do? Is have fun? I mean, that covers everything, though. So having fun, well, then let's have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun.
Fun, yeah. Attitude of gratitude and have fun. Fantastic work, Tahiti and Gregory T. Now, I misspoke earlier. We got 4 vignettes. I got a little carried away. But time for vignette number 2, y'all. Starring, oh, y'all gonna love this. Starring the magnificent Maureen Ward Jr. and our soul sister. Take it away, you two.
Where you been, Soul?
Well, I went to my storage space, and you know what, Lauren? I noticed kind people giving the homeless a warm place to stay.
Were you scared?
Oh no, because I do the same thing.
Well, how'd they look? Were they wearing masks?
Well, since I'm not judgmental about people's attire, when I see the homeless not wearing a mask, I just give them one. Because the mask right now with what's going on is something everyone should have.
Well, that's really cool. What else do you do?
Well, sometimes I also carry food to share with the hungry. Because you know what, Mon? In this country, no one should be homeless.
For real?
Yeah. And when I see despair in someone's face, I don't wait for them to beg for what's deserved. So I just walk past them and say, "Excuse me, you dropped this," and I hand them a gift.
Sounds like you assume good intentions
Yes.
and you want to have more to give more.
Oh, yes. Because not too long ago, Lauren, I too was homeless. So I formed this kindness chain to give back. Just grateful to have.
It's like you remember why we're here.
Ooh,
And if you had more, you'd give more.
that is for sure, Lauren. Because fantasies, you know, like mine, sometimes they could just become realities. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. That's Marvin Ward Jr. and Soul Sister Soul. Now, if there are two folks in this whole Twin Cities area cooler than these next two Zamites, and I ain't met them. Yep, y'all know who I'm talking about. It's that rock star roving reporter Robert, aka Roberto Blood, and the amazing Annette Butler. Oh, I simply love these two Zamites. Roberto, Annette, why don't y'all just take it away before I get all carried away?
Come on, it's gonna be all right. Oh man.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, ma'am, but it seems like you're a little stressed. Can I ask what's going on?
Yeah. Me and my baby, we've been in the shelter for a while, and I've been looking for a place, and I just haven't been able to find it. So I came here today, to get away, just to get away some.
Yeah, how come you haven't been able to locate a?
My credit's not the best, and I don't know, it's just so tiring and frustrated. And
What?
sometimes some of the places that I look, I don't want to raise my babies there.
Well, I tell you what, I have a few places that I own and I have an efficiency available. Here's my number. You call me. I don't care about any of your credit or anything. I'll put you into this place. How's that sound?
Oh my goodness, sir, that sounds beautiful. Girl, you hear that? You hear that? We got us a place now.
See, that's why we should all notice our impact on ourselves, each other, and our community.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Because we really treating each other equally.
Thank you. Give me a call.
I will. Thank you so much.
Ain't y'all having fun? Beautiful gesture on Roberto. Thank you, Roberto and Annette. Ain't y'all having fun? Oh, look, everybody. Look, everybody. Look, everybody. Last, certainly not least, are two ultra-talented troop members here to blow the doors off the vignette hinges. They're back. Yes, indeed, it's Jan and Shannon Kemp and greatest of all time, Caroline Manheimer. Bring us home, troop mates.
Hey, Ro. Hey, I got this book about Japanese language. It's like,
yeah.
Oh my God,
Ro,
my
you need to
lips are so chapped.
focus on what we're talking about.
Okay. Oh my God, look at the window. There's
Stay
this
focused.
squirrel.
One moment. I have a very important question for you, Ro. Will you marry me?
Yes! Oh my gosh! Yay! I'm engaged!
If only you could stay focused and engaged.
What? I'm not focused? Oh my God. I got this new mug for my coffee. Isn't it awesome?
Focused and engaged.
I'll try. Thanks.
Ooh, didn't I tell you those are my girls? They are so talented. Caroline and Shannon Kemp. Thank you, ladies. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are Zania agreements, like only we can do. Now, I told you that was going to be different. Now, I'm feeling those agreements. Who else is feeling that? Let us know, because as always, we invite our incredible audience to share your incredible thoughts about our incredible Zania agreements in that incredible chat box. That would be doggone incredible. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, this is Rebecca. She's telling me to cool it in all the Incredibles. See, whenever I get carried away, our producer, Rebecca, just gives me that eye roll and throat clear. Sometimes when I'm way out to lunch, Rebecca just gives me that eye roll and that throat clear. Oh, am I thankful that Bex keeps me on track. And speaking of thankful, that's theme one in this week's one round go around segment. Now, if this is your first time with us, you'll catch on pretty quickly to this lively segment of HNN. This week's thought is, you see it on the screen, I'm thankful for. Now remember, audience, feel free to drop your comments in our chat box. What are you thankful for? Me? Well, I'm thankful for friends who tell me truths I need to hear.
I am thankful for all the Samyaites and all the people doing amazing things.
I'm thankful for being here now with the rest of you.
I'm thankful for all God has done for me.
I'm thankful for having a wonderful family.
I'm thankful that I have a cozy, supportive environment to be in.
I'm thankful for every day that turns to night and every night that turns to day.
I'm thankful for my home.
Well, I'm thankful for my brother leaving my daughter and I his house.
I'm thankful for the arts of all of them.
I'm thankful for my health.
I am thankful for that breath of life given to us at birth.
Well, I'm thankful for all the closeness of my friends and family.
I'm thankful for Zamia.
I'm thankful that I have a place I can call home.
I'm thankful my life has put me on a path where I've met a lot of wild, creative people.
I'm thankful for all my children and my 13 grandmothers.
Thankful for my teachers.
I'm thankful for my Minneapolis chosen family.
I'm thankful for my ability to express myself through the arts and music.
On, sister, right on. What are you thankful for? Again, just drop that into that chat box, if you will. Now, you heard me say this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I love me some go around segment. I love me some go around segment. One of the few things in this world I love more than a juicy Zania go around segment is introducing that special segment. And I'll be doggone, I get to do that right now, R-A-T, right now. I get to introduce part 2 of a special segment we debuted on the last episode, starring once again one of my favorite people in the world, my troop mate, Shannon Kemp, with part 2 of her reflections of a homecoming queen. Do it, Shans.
Okay. Well, if anybody did not hear the story, not the week before Thanksgiving, just a quick summary. I was voted homecoming attendant, and I was told I didn't represent the school, not the face of the high school, in the way I looked and everything else. And I was told by the principal that even though I was voted in, I should give the honor of being homecoming attendant to someone who actually deserved it. So that's BS straight away. But at that point, I had a plan. And the week before last, I told you step 1, step 2, which were the parade and the football game. So the last and biggest thing I wanted to do to make a statement was at the homecoming dance, where we all, the homecoming attendants are all in the same dresses. We have the escorts that we're supposed to dance with and all of this cheesy crap for the yearbook. So luckily the dress was black. And I put back on Liberty spikes, did my crazy corpse looking makeup, fishnets, all my spikes. A very good friend, and she was even straight, but she wore a tux, and we were a couple. And then I had two other friends, Jimmy and then his boyfriend Corey. And Jimmy wore a purple dress, and Corey wore a matching purple suit. So we get to the dance. It's hard for us to even get in the door. I mean, straight away, just all eyes on us, and teachers just looking irate. And, you know, there was this part where we are to dance with our football escorts and get all the pictures taken. And, you know, I looked as I did back then, which is about 10 times what I look like right now. And I did a slow dance with, never forget, Greg Hickman. And I remember one thing he said, why don't you always look like you did on the football night? Because my mom wanted some good pictures of the homecoming thing. You know, and I think at that point I kicked him in the shin, and we just kind of, the four of us hung about, let people stare. And afterwards, the day after, when I went into school, I was immediately called into the admin office, and the principal and the guidance counselor were both there, and they wanted to expel me for going to the dance and, you know, letting my dreadlocks out and looking how I did and going with a woman and another guy in a dress with the, you know, his boyfriend in a matching tux. And I knew that wasn't right. So I argued that, and they wanted to expel, and then they were going to drop it down to a suspension, which was still not okay, because that's not right. And finally, they gave me like 1 day of in-school suspension on a Saturday. And honestly, I just took it because I made a huge, obnoxious point of, you know, screw conformity and closed-minded people. And I think I made my point. And in-school suspension or not, it was worth it. The only pictures that were in the yearbook with me as homecoming attendant were a couple when I wasn't throwing up over the side of the Corvette in the parade. There was a few of those. I was puking most of the time though. And then some from the football game, and absolutely none of the dance. They just kind of acted like it never happened. And I really, I know I made a statement. I know I made a lot of people very upset. But I was really hopeful that there would at least be some pictures in the yearbook, maybe to show growth or progress. I mean, it was, you know, 1995 or 96. And yeah, it was not, there was nothing there from that. But that was just kind of my, I was going to concede to the normal girl who was cheerleader, all that, you know, crap. But when I was asked to not do it because I didn't represent Riverside High School, even though I had great grades, I was drama club kid and all of that. None of that kind of stuff mattered. It was all about appearances. So as soon as I was told that is when I just kind of, you know, said, kick rocks, you're going to regret ever, you know, telling me I couldn't do something. And it's a fond memory. And everyone that I know from that time, they all remember it. So I did something. And if not, who cares? It was great for me. And that's honestly it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Kemp, y'all. Thanks, Shan. That's our homecoming queen. Now, again, the theme of the show is fantasy and reality. So we invite our audience to share your thoughts about that dose of reality served up by our very own Shannon Kemp. But in the meantime, we're going to keep the show on the tracks with a little old news and a little new news. That's right, you guessed it. It's time for Headline News with Marvelous Marvin Howard and Esther O. This week, we have a segment that includes some news about a city that had actual success in eradicating homelessness. And we talk about reality, y'all, not fantasy. And for all y'all that didn't quite get your full fix of Thanksgiving videos, we got a little food vibe going on in this week's episode of Headline News.
Hey, Esther, can we do this a little later? My dinner's ready.
Marvin, this is the time we scheduled it for. Come on, it's not going to take us that long.
Okay. And now for the news. Not exactly new news, but the same old news. And I'm kind of hungry too, because I can get a Hot Pocket real quick and just be,
Marvin.
Okay. Today's headlines. City homelessness can be solved.
Homelessness is not an inevitability. While official government-backed national strategies often struggle to make progress, individual cities are reducing and even ending homelessness, showing it need not necessarily be an issue that is too complex, too big, or too intractable ever to be solved.
Homelessness can be solved.
Marvin, I can't understand you.
Oh. Homelessness can be solved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The problem is that we consider housing to be a privilege.
Let's evaluate homelessness only on its financial implications on our society. Take it in terms of pure, cold, hard cash. And how much do you think it costs the taxpayers each year, on an average, to have a single person homeless?
$35,000 to $150,000 per year, according to a study conducted by Bush's administration.
The average cost of providing housing?
$13,000 to $25,000 per year, which means at a minimum savings of $10,000 per person per year.
Solving homelessness is within our reach. It turns out that the simple, obvious solution, simply giving them homes, is also the best one, both in terms of addressing the problem and reducing expenditures.
Meet the outsider who accidentally, Marvin, meet the outsider who accidentally solved chronic homelessness.
In the early 90s, Sam Sinbaris took a job in New York City. And you know what? I wish there was a bagel opportunity in my near future, like now.
Marvin.
Okay. Bye-bye, bagel. I will talk to you later. So Sam was doing outreach for the mentally ill, which brought him into close contact with the homeless. He soon sank into their hidden world, noting the complexity of its social rules and social tactics. How some experts perceived homelessness, he said he realized, was fundamentally flawed. This world's denizens, or homelessness, in fact, were profoundly resourceful.
Sambaris remarked, "We are equating the severity of diagnosis with ability to function, but surviving homelessness is labor-intensive, exhausting, and complicated. It calls for a skill set of functionality. It's that simple," he said. "Give homes for the homeless, and you will soon solve chronic homelessness."
Let's take a look around the world to see how other cities have eradicated chronic homelessness. Finland, for example. Ooh, Lord, look at that salmon there. That looked delicious. Put some brown sugar on it. Okay. All right. I love me some salmon though. Bye-bye salmon. Housing First, eradicating homelessness in Helsinki.
Housing First offers support to tenants ranging from access to education, training, and work placements to recreation and basic life skills, all while providing them a home.
Sound good. On to Italy. Ooh, that's the Chicago deep dish pizza right there. I know it. I love me some deep dish.
Marvin, we're not doing a restaurant tour. Remember?
Okay.
Homelessness.
All right.
We're talking about homelessness.
Okay, bye pizza. I'm gonna holler at you later. An Italian lesson in helping people at high risk for homelessness.
In San Donato, addicts and the mentally ill are deeply integrated into the community and maintain a dignified standard of living. Their families and relatives look after them and stay involved in their lives.
When necessary, the municipal government provides employment sweeping the streets, and local businesses sometimes pay mentally disabled residents to walk through their streets with a loudspeaker, announcing new products available at the market. The residents play a role in helping the most vulnerable through the values of self-help and community responsibility.
The city that solved homelessness.
Vienna offers a vision of a city that doesn't shove longtime residents to neighboring communities, accommodates a range of incomes, and actually has enough affordable housing that the homeless problem is solved. The Vienna model, housing for the 21st century city, has provoked considerable attention.
Here are just a few of the many issues that Vienna has figured out: mixing ethnic, age, and income groups, protecting open space, aging in place, transit-centered development, building new train lines to the hinterlands before a suburban housing developments are built.
Well, here we are in Vienna. Now look at that. You see that? All them women are fainting. And you know why they're fainting? Because they haven't had anything to eat. I feel like fainting right now.
Come on now. Where are we going next? Where are we going next?
Okay, all right. Bye-bye, Waltz. I hope that white girl is going to be okay. Let's just travel to...
Liechtenstein.
There you go.
Homeless in Liechtenstein.
You might wonder, where is Liechtenstein and why would you want to go there? Well, this is why. Okay.
We're good. He can eat pretty soon. Come on.
I hope so, because, brother kind of hungry.
All right. Liechtenstein is a small country in the mountains between Switzerland and Austria. While there are hardly enough homeless shelters in the United States, Liechtenstein had to shut one down due to its lack of use.
I want to go to Liechtenstein. I want to live there. But it's not only in other countries that homelessness has been successfully tackled. Let's take a look at Arlington, Virginia, shall we? Ooh, okay. I promise, no more. No more food. I promise. I'm not even doing this, Esther. I promise. I'm not even. But see, look, watch how fast he goes.
Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Arlington's no silos approach has housed hundreds of chronically homeless adults.
Once a month, there is a meeting of a task force that includes advocates and specialists in physical and mental health, as well as county social service workers.
One person takes responsibility for each name on the spreadsheet. They go line by line, brainstorming about which public and private treatment programs and funding can be tapped to help each homeless person. Said one advocate,
breaking down all our silos and focusing on individuals by name was a huge thing.
Pretty amazing. Let's look at our home of Minneapolis. What steps are being taken here?
Minneapolis City Council approves indoor tiny house community for the homeless.
The Minneapolis City Council has approved $2 million in CARES Act money for a facility that utilizes tiny homes to serve those who are experiencing homelessness. As the first snowflakes of the season start falling, that gives the okay to build 100 houses for people who otherwise don't have one. Recently, the City Council passed a proposal for the project called Indoor Villages.
All right, Minnesota. Esther's gonna kill me. All right, Minnesota, let's be like Liechtenstein and get to the point where we don't need places like Harbor Lights. Let's get cooking and make sure our homelessness neighbors get a piece of the pie.
And that's it for today's news.
Not new news, but the same old news. Speaking of pie, I'm about to go get some pie. I'm hungry.
Bon appetit, Marvin.
Yeah. Fantastic episode of Headline News from Esther O and marvelous Marvin Howard. I mean, it's beautiful watching those two work together to bring you the headline news. They're like pause, think, reflect. Poetry in motion. And speaking of poetry, that's just what we have for you right now. So in our last episode, she brought the Zammy agreements in poetic fashion. And now she's back, giving everyone a dose of poetic reality. In her always uplifting way, yes, I am speaking about Soul Sister Soul. So please take it away before I get carried away.
Thank you, Corey. Amazing person doing amazing things. I'm going to read. The wind came blowing all my sorrows away. Here I was, just a sweet little child who had nothing but happy, fun games in mind. I was taken out of my comfort zone and placed in this place I was forced to call home. Here started the thunder, the lightning, the harsh, brutal storm. I wish for the wind to blow as hard as it could to blow me back from where I was took. I miss being there, walking on my own ground. I was young, but my thoughts were so profound. I suffered in silence. No one to talk to, no one to hear. I only knew fear. Lost little girl in my own little world, with heart pounding as hard as it could, heart aching as hard as it could. Mother lived, yet I was orphaned, being my only outcome that for adult faults I had to pay. And while in that space, I had no more smiles or childhood games to play. Locked in a room, crying my doom. Lost little girl, alone in her own little world. I wrote and wrote until my pencils broke, inventing stories I called my own. Till this day, that's all I know, and that's all I do. It's my greatest love. Years passed, but I couldn't get past. Experiences came and went. Why me? I asked. Why not me? I replied, finding my answer inside. It's so I can have all this much to teach and to write. The moral of the story is that while standing in the storm, the wind came and blew all my sorrows away. So now I tell everyone, do not fret, for out of bad things, good things will always come. I learned and lived these words, since very young. Thank you all. Sorry.
If you have thoughts about that wonderful piece by Soul, well, that's what our chat box is for, folks. Because we want. No. We wish. No. We hope you feel free to share your thoughts with us. And speaking of hope, that kind of slides us right into part 2 of our go-around segment. Now, as a reminder, in part 1 of our go-around, we focused on what am I thankful for? So that was more on a reality tip. What are we thankful for that's real? But in keeping with our theme of fantasy and reality, let's flip the script to fantasy. In part 2 of our go-around, let's all finish this thought. I'm hopeful for. So what are you hopeful for? So maybe something that might not be real now, that don't mean it can't be with a little bit of hope. Again, we invite the audience to share your thoughts in our chat box. Me, I'm hopeful for a direction of unity in this country.
I am hopeful for Zamia to continue universally manifesting itself one story, one stage, and one show at a time.
I'm hopeful for peace, justice, health, and safety for all human beings.
I'm hopeful for peace for all the nation.
I'm hopeful that we end Corona.
I'm hopeful that the Minneapolis City Council is going to listen to Tahiti and the 500 other people that showed up to testify and demand alternatives and a new vision for public safety.
I'm hopeful for early 2021 opening and staying open, mask free.
I'm hopeful because change is unstoppable.
I'm hopeful that artists, musicians, venues, small businesses can somehow rebound next year. I hope.
I'm hopeful for the end of cancel culture and bullying.
Hopeful for my Chicago Bears. Somehow start looking like a real football team real soon.
I am hopeful for this crown mess to just be over.
I'm hopeful for equity in the world.
I'm hoping for love for all the nation.
I'm hopeful that we can end tensions between all races.
I'm hopeful that we won't go back to normal. We'll go forward into new priorities.
I'm hopeful for the expansion and the expandability of Zambia.
Sometimes I really don't like that word hope. I just want people to do something.
I'm hopeful that I can find some Vincent Price collectibles.
I'm hopeful for the future.
Now, here at HNN, we like to keep everyone up to speed on any late breaking news in and around the Minneapolis. And what better way to keep our finger on the pulse of the community than to send our roving reporter, Roberto Blood, out to the streets. And that's exactly what we did. So let's go to Roberto and see what's popping out there in the world. I hear he's got a piece that will help us separate fantasy from reality when it comes to homelessness. Roberto, what you got for the folks?
No, thanks for that, Corey. It's just a little thing I came up. It's fantasy versus reality. What is fantasy to the man sleeping on the street? There are 1,300 homeless people in Minneapolis. What is the fantasy to the single mother living in a shelter? Children are the fastest growing population of homeless. Also, 33% of the homeless people are families. When these people wake up, they have to face a reality that most people can't imagine. Would their fantasy be a home, a hot meal, a warm, safe place for their children to sleep? Our reality is someone's fantasy. What we take for granted, some people only dream of. We can, if we work together, can be like Finland and Liechtenstein and end homelessness. We can make dreams come true. We can change lives. We can turn someone's fantasy into a reality. There are over 500,000 homeless people in the United States. Let's do this together. Fantasy, pass it on.
Roberto, once again, delivering the goods. That's my brother right there. Thanks, Roberto. Appreciate that segment. Now, the next segment, oh, you're going to love this. Now, this has become a very poppin' segment with a positive vibe, hosted by the ever popular troop mate, Annette Butler. Now, if you've been with us before in this segment, Annette tends to unwind and relax us with a funky combination of words and her soothing disposition. Now she's back to do the very same. Ladies and gentlemen, take a deep breath and get ready for HNN's most laid-back segment, Time to Unwind with Annette. All yours, Annette.
So I wrote a piece. Healing is essential. When is the last time you smiled? Try it on. Try it on. When is the last time you had a good belly laugh? Can I hear some?
Oh, stop.
Okay. When is the last time you've gotten out and enjoyed the sunshine? Ooh, how I love that warm, hugging sun. Mm.
Mm.
When is the last time you danced? Can we see some of this dancing going on here?
I'm dancing now.
Mm. What's your favorite dance?
Oh, I like that Zydeco.
Mm.
Okay, little accordion there. Yeah.
When is the last time you listened to and sang your favorite song?
5 minutes ago.
This morning.
What's your favorite
The
song?
hills are alive.
Whiskers on kittens, brown paper puppies and buttons and mittens, brown paper packages tied up in string. These are
But my favorite thing.
I
Thank you,
sing
thank you.
all the time.
When is the last time you sat silently without any thoughts?
When I was asleep.
Hmm.
I try.
Try it on.
I try. I try. But
What are you
it's always
thinking right now?
What's a thought?
Someone enough.
I'm thinking about
Nah.
the homeless, actually, what they need. They need help.
When was the last time you've healed?
Last night.
I'm in the healing process right now.
Me too.
And what does healing feel like to you?
Oh, feels like the world is a wonderful place to live.
It feels like it's coming from my essence and just coming out, and my presence is enjoying it.
Feels
Well, I
like
want to offer everybody an opportunity to try it on. Go ahead, Marin. What does it feel like?
I was gonna say it feels like opening up to the healing that's already there.
It feels like a bolt of lightning that makes me fall in love with everything and everybody.
Yes, recovery is not a four-letter word.
I agree with Greg.
And the Nile is not a river in Egypt.
Healing
Nice.
is essential. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Annette, for that almost, I mean, you just put me in a place where I almost fell asleep. I was that relaxed. Thank you, Sister Annette. And what a wonderful way to end our fantasy and reality episode of HNN. I know, unfortunately, we have reached the end of this edition of Homeless News Network. But in typical Zamia fashion, we will end our affair with our one-word checkout from each Zamly member. Now, audience members, please throw your one word into the chat box. I'm going to kick this off with my one-word checkout, which is unity.
Well, mine is healing.
Foreverness.
Mine is peace.
Thankfulness.
Practice.
Mine is clarity.
Sorry, Shannon.
Connectedness.
Future. Do.
Yes. I'll rewind to what Tahiti said. That's going to be our last word. It's going to be peace. Hands in the middle, everyone. Our one word checkout is peace. Here we go. Peace. Thank you, ZAM fam members. You are ZAM test producer Rebecca Noon, our dynamic director Lurch, and of course all of you. And a heartfelt special thanks to all of our ZAM family and friends for your kind donations to Zamia during Give to the Max Day on November 19th. We thank you and we love you. Now remember to visit and like our Facebook page and stop by our website at zamiatheater.org and sign up for our quarterly newsletter. The latest issue is just 2 weeks new, so check it out. Also join our weekly Cyber Jam workshops with Leah Nelson and the gang Tuesday, 3 to 4. You can access those on our Facebook webpage. Hope you can drop by. In the meantime, we'll see you all next time on Homeless News Network.
Yay.
I need
Well,
a band.
in order to make it real, you gotta feel.
And then you gotta heal.
Can you feel it now?
Can you feel the heel?
Y'all know what it is, right?
Heal, God. Heal, God.
Yeah, it's a full home.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Heal so. Heal so.
No, that was great.
It's happening.
To the heel.
I think we're going to appreciate it. I think we
like it.
Are we making the ending credits right now?
Yeah, I think we're making the credit.
Thanks for doing my job.
Feel it.